AP 120, Lab 15, Topics, Male Reproductive System. Here is our male reproductive system model. We can see quite a few structures here, including the urinary bladder, this large structure here, the rectum, the anus. We can see the penis with its glands, the scrotum holding the testis, the epididymis, the spermatic cord, and the prostate gland. These are just a few of the structures that you're responsible for. So the testes. The testes are ovoid organs, and they are filled with long convoluted tubules called seminiferous tubules. So all these twisted up tubules, these seminiferous tubules, are where sperm are made, where immature sperm are produced. Then, of course, once the sperm are produced, they have to travel through a series of tubes to exit the male body, going from the testes through a convoluted pathway and then out of the urethra. The spermatic cord is the portion that holds the ductus deferens that's leading out of the scrotum, passes through the abdominal wall in an area called the inguinal ring. So this is an opening that allows the structures leading to the male external genitalia to leave, or the abdominal cavity, and also blood vessels for the legs go through there. And the inguinal ring is a place where men often get hernias. So inguinal hernias are when the small intestine is pushing out through the inguinal ring. All right, the tubes that carry sperm. Well, we first start with the epididymis. Epididymis is its own little organ lying on the superior and posterior side of the testis. The epididymis is a long coiled duct, something like 6 meters long, all coiled up. And when immature sperm leave the testes, they enter the epididymis and are stored there for up to 60 days. And during that time, the sperm will mature. So the epididymis is where immature sperm mature and can be stored for up to 60 days. From here, the sperm, now mature, will exit the epididymis and travel through the ductus deferens, which is first housed within the spermatic cord. But once it reaches the abdominal wall, the ductus deferens will then continue to travel on its own over the top of the urinary bladder and then to the back, the posterior side of the urinary bladder. From there we have a small tube called the ejaculatory duct that connects the ductus deferens to the urethra. Turns out the ejaculatory duct is formed from a fusion of the duct leaving the seminal vesicle and the ductus deferens. And as the name implies, the ejaculatory duct only is used during ejaculation, when the sperm and the fluids from the seminal vesicle would then enter the prostatic urethra. A vasectomy is when the ductus deferens is cut. Both of them would be cut, ligated. This, of course, would be occurring in the scrotum and is a relatively straightforward and simple medical procedure. All right, there are some additional glands important for the welfare of the sperm because they produce the fluid portion of semen. So we have the bulbourethral glands. There's 2 of them. We cannot see them in our model. They're small little structures somewhere down here, and they produce mucus primarily. So they are producing mucus to provide lubrication to the penile urethra. Then, of course, here is the seminal vesicle. As I mentioned before, it will produce fluids that will get deposited into the ejaculatory duct at the same time as sperm will be leaving the ductus deferens. And then we have the prostate gland, which is inferior to the urinary bladder and has the urethra passing through it. And the prostate gland also produces fluid for the semen. Here is a cross section, so we can see here's the prostate gland cut in half. Here's the ejaculatory duct. And this is the prostatic urethra passing through the prostate gland. And then the urethra will then pass through the penis, where it is referred to as the penile urethra. And the urethra itself is approximately 20 centimeters long, starting at the base of the urinary bladder, traveling through the prostate gland, and then through the penis. All right, the penis itself is made up of three cylindrical bodies of erectile tissue. There is the corpus spongiosum. The corpus spongiosum wraps around the penile urethra. So here we can see, here's the urethra, here's the corpus spongiosum surrounding it. The function of the corpus spongiosum is to keep the urethra open during an erection. And then we have two cylindrical masses collectively called the corpora cavernosa. So one corpus cavernosum, two corpora cavernosa. These tissues will fill with blood during an erection, causing the erection to occur. So it is hydrostatic pressure is the building up of blood fluids within the penis that cause the erection. There are no bones involved. And here on our model, we can see the penile urethra. You can see the tissue surrounding the penile urethra. That's the corpus spongiosum, which goes on to form the glands of the penis. And then this area here is corpora cavernosa. It fills with blood during an erection. When male infants are born, they have a little bit of skin over the glands of the penis. That is called the prepuce. Probably heard it called the foreskin, but its official name is prepuce. And that can be removed in a minor medical procedure called the circumcision. So a circumcised penis lacks the prepuce because it has been removed. And that is it for this part of Lab 15.